Hi, Leela. What brings you here? I wanted to talk to you about something. I noticed that every time I come over, you seem to give me an attitude. Did I do something to upset you? Honestly, Leela, I don't have anything against you. I just feel like you and my husband have been spending a lot of time together lately. Oh, I see. But you have to understand, David and I have been friends for a long time. We just connect on a different level. I don't know, Leela. It just feels weird to me. Why are you always texting him? Oh, we're just catching up and planning our next hangout. Don't worry, Emma. I'm not trying to steal your man or anything. I'm just his friend. I never said you were trying to steal him. I just don't like how much time you spend talking to each other. Sure, I'll back off and give you guys some space. Thank you, Leela. I appreciate that. I hope you're able to give him what I do, though. What is that supposed to mean, Leela? Oh, nothing. I'm sorry, really. My name is Emma, and I was married to my husband David for 2 years. Together, we had an adorable son named Jake. David was a great husband and father, or so I thought at the moment. He was hardworking and always promised me and our kid the best things in the world. I always joked and said that the only thing I needed from him was his love. As it turned out, that was not something he could give me, and our marriage was soon put to a difficult test. David had a close friend called Leela ever since they were in college. I never quite warmed up to her. I couldn't explain why, but something about her rubbed me the wrong way. I usually tolerated her in family dinners and gatherings, just for my husband's sake. I talked with her on the phone sometimes, usually when she needed advice about her messy love life or if she had a problem with my husband. It was hard to understand what was going on in her life still, because she always seemed so ingenuine and disconnected. I didn't often reach out to her because it always seemed like a waste of time and energy for me. I was being as kind to her as I could, though. David's career as a paramedic was going very well, as he continued to get opportunities for advancement and increase his salary. He made a lot more money, which allowed us to come closer to our goal of renovating our house together. But there was a catch. He had to work overtime a lot. It was frustrating to have him gone for so long, and we hardly saw each other when he was home. A few months after his promotion, I started suspecting David of cheating on me. He had been coming home late from work and was always on his phone, even when he was spending time with me and Jake. I tried talking to him about it, but he always brushed me off and said that I was just being needy. On the other hand, Leela was around a bit too often, and my gut feeling was telling me that something was wrong. She hung around our house almost every 3 days, whenever I wasn't there. She would be cooking and cleaning, picking up my kid from school, and running errands on David's behalf. I was beginning to think that they were having an affair and that she was trying to replace me. I didn't want to put it in words to them yet, so I just kept doing my best to stay sane and keep my eyes on her. To my surprise, I was not the one to come forward and talk about such an uncomfortable dynamic. It was Leela. One day during the weekend, when I was home alone with Jake, I heard the doorbell ring constantly. When I opened the door, I wasn't surprised to see Leela. However, I was quite agitated that she felt the need to ring my bell so much on a Saturday morning. So I might have looked a bit displeased. Leela saw her chance and went for me right away. Hi, Leela, what brings you here? I wanted to talk to you about something. I noticed that every time I come over, you seem to give me an attitude. Did I do something to upset you? Honestly, Leela, I don't have anything against you. I just feel like you and my husband have been spending a lot of time together lately. Oh, I see. But you have to understand, David and I have been friends for a long time. We just connect on a different level. I don't know, Leela. It just feels weird to me. Why are you always texting him? Oh, we're just catching up and planning our next hangout. Don't worry, Emma. I'm not trying to steal your man or anything. I'm just his friend. I never said you were trying to steal him. I just don't like how much time you spend talking to each other. Sure, I'll back off and give you guys some space. Thank you, Leela. I appreciate that. I hope you're able to give him what I do, though. What is that supposed to mean, Leela? Oh, nothing. I'm sorry, really. She said that with a subtle smirk on her face, which made me quite uncomfortable. Leela, I heard what you said. What did you mean? I meant that if you were less of a jealous, controlling wife, David would probably want to be home more often. Excuse me? Before I could say anything else, Leela immediately turned away. I was stunned and couldn't think of a way to make sense of what had just happened. For a few seconds, I thought I was being crazy, but I knew what I heard, and I knew it meant that something was going on between her and my husband. I was determined to figure that out. That night, I tried talking to David about his relationship with Leela. Hey babe, can I talk to you about something that's been bothering me? Sure, what's up? It's about your friendship with Leela. I've noticed that she's been around our house a lot lately, and it makes me feel uncomfortable. What do you mean? Leela and I have been friends since college. I know, but it's just that I never really felt comfortable around her, and now with all the time you're spending together, it's making me feel uneasy. Emma, there's nothing going on between me and Leela. She's just a friend and always has been. I guess I'm just being paranoid. I keep feeling like something is going on between you two and you're cheating on me. What? That's ridiculous. I would never cheat on you, Emma, and especially not with Leela. Yes, she had a crush on me in college, but that was a long time ago. We're just friends now. Okay, I believe you. I just needed to hear that from you. Of course, my love. His gentle words really calmed my nerves. I guess Leela still had feelings for my husband after all those years, and that explained why she was acting so strangely toward me and our kid. But there's no need for my husband to be aware of that. He's my partner now. I decided to trust his loyalty and let him deal with his troublesome friend. Plus, I couldn't find any evidence of cheating. David even showed me his phone and conversations he had with Leela. Nothing was suspicious, so I moved on with my life and tried not to be too irrational. As time passed, my husband seemed to have taken the note to heart and stopped inviting Leela over so often. I rarely saw her around. David even put in the effort to take me out on dates during the weekend so he could make up for the days that he had to stay at work in an emergency. Things were going great for us as a family. However, that didn't last long. Things took a turn for the worse just a few weeks later. That day, I was picking Jake up from daycare when I noticed something strange about him. He looked so tired and couldn't talk to me properly. I quickly touched his forehead to find out his body temperature was unusually high. I immediately called an ambulance and moved him to a shady spot under a huge tree. Then I used cool water to help lower his body temperature. I tried my best to encourage him to drink more water, even though he looked like he was close to passing out. I was trying to do all of these tasks while dialing my husband's number. He was the medical expert, so I just wanted to make sure that I was taking all the necessary steps. To my utter frustration, he didn't pick up. When the ambulance finally arrived, Jake was in danger, and my husband was still nowhere to be found. Jake was immediately taken to the hospital for emergency treatment. I was so frustrated and worried I could barely breathe. Fortunately, my son was treated in a timely manner and he was safe. The doctor even complimented me on my first aid skills. As I sighed in relief, I felt my heart sink, realizing that my husband wasn't there for his son when he needed him the most. I was so alone at that moment, and it felt like there was something wrong about my marriage that I couldn't quite put into words. An hour later, my husband finally showed up at the hospital, looking like he was in a rush. He explained that he had to work and couldn't pick up the phone. I could tell he was feeling bad, but I didn't care. I didn't even bother to question him any further. I decided that I had to listen to my gut feeling and figure this out myself. So I left the room, saying that I wanted to give him and Jake some space. I went straight to the receptionist, who happened to be one of my friends from high school. When I asked her about what my husband was doing, she said that she didn't see him come in with a patient, but she did spot a woman with him around an hour ago. I was taken aback, but I quickly gained my composure. I then asked my friend to give me the footage of the security camera where I could see my husband taking Leela inside his ambulance in a secluded corner of the parking spot. I was too stunned to even speak, and my friend was understandably shocked. It was as clear as day that my husband was indeed cheating on me with Leela. Right when I was too confused to know what to do, my friend had an idea. She promised me that she would notify me the next time she saw them together, and I could do whatever I wanted with that information. You could choose to divorce him and present the proof of his affair, she said, or you could choose to ignore it. I will not say a word about this to anyone else. At that moment, I felt my eyes filled with water. I needed to hear that, and I gave her the biggest hug. I went back to my son's room, trying to figure out what I want to do with all that had been happening. Just a few days later, I received a call from my friend. The moment I saw that she was contacting me, I knew what was going on. I answered the phone and thanked her for having kept her promise. Then I dropped Jake off at my parents' place and drove straight to David's hospital. I knew what I had to do because I wanted the best for Jake. He deserved a better dad. As soon as I arrived at the scene, I saw what I came to witness. My husband David was in his ambulance kissing Leela. Even though I had come prepared, I still felt like my whole world was crashing down around me. I couldn't believe that after everything, my suspicions had always been spot on. My husband, a paramedic who had sworn to save lives, was cheating on me with his friend in his own ambulance? It was utterly disgusting and horrible. Before they could take things any further, I took my phone out, sprung open the doors, and took as many pictures of them as I could. They both looked at me in shock. David tried to put his clothes back on while shouting apologies at me, but I couldn't listen. I was too angry and hurt to hear anything he had to say. I hopped on my car again and drove back to my parents' place. I knew in my heart that I was making the right decision. With the concrete evidence of David's affair on my phone, I filed for divorce. I couldn't continue living with a man who had betrayed me in such a horrible way. David tried to apologize times and times after that day, but it was too late. I had already made up my mind. I hired a lawyer, and we went through the divorce proceedings as swiftly as possible. Understandably, I was able to get custody of our son Jake, due to the affair and how David had treated him. David had to pay a large amount of child support, and that really helped me financially support Jake on my own. As for David's career, it definitely took a huge toll. He was fired for obvious reasons, and he would probably never work as a paramedic again, at least not anytime soon. Leela and David quickly became the news of the town. Their lying nature was exposed to everyone, including Leela's family and partner. That forced Leela to move to the other end of the country, and I heard that she would soon have to go through a separation from her partner too. Jake and I had to start a new life together, but it was okay because I knew that I would give Jake everything he needed. I was able to find a new job, and we moved to a new city to get a fresh start. We made new friends, and life started to feel more normal again. I even started dating someone new, a kind and caring man who treated me and Jake with the love and respect we deserved. As time passed, I found myself healing from the pain of my past marriage and feeling more hopeful about the future. My new partner was by my side, supporting me every step of the way. Jake was thrilled to have such a great father figure in the picture. So we're thinking about getting married soon. Life's going great for us right now, and I have never been happier.